Hi there. Oh, microphone up. Yeah, there we go. Hi there. How are you? It's Riter Radio. It's episode 218. Coming at you live from Buffalo, New York. And presented, as always, by Brian Janik at thefinancialguys.com. 20-year independent insurance broker hooking you up, especially if you're approaching 65, like I feel like I am. I'm not. Getting a lot of AARP type of stuff in the mail lately. I'm 51. It's not. I feel okay. You don't have to keep reminding me that I'm old. Send me stuff in the mail. But once I get near 65, then I go to Brian Janik. And he helps me navigate the whole Medicare thing. I'm not prepared for that. I got 14 years to think about it, but he's got 14 years to get better. He'll be a 34-year veteran of the insurance business by the time I require that particular service from him. But you might be a little older or know somebody who is, and it might be time. So Brian Janik at thefinancialguys.com. Here's what's going on. It is unbelievable to me how crippling my lack of printer has been. It has messed up my workflow entirely, and it's gotten me to the point where each of the shows this week has been just like a chaotic free-for-all. Today I actually wrote things down. I've got like 10 things written down that I want to hit on, and I've got a million things open on my screen and all that. But as far as like the structure of the show, it's different. The hotline's ringing. We're going to do this. We're going to take a call live and say hello to, unless I'm being spammed or spoofed or something, this appears to be world-renowned radio broadcaster and WGR legend, Jeremy White. What's up, man?
What's up? I've never had that intro before. That's something else.
I made that one up as I was going along, but I was surprised to hear from you. What's happening with you?
Well, I wanted to call you because, every once in a while I'll call you. What, you want to play the game where you guess what I'm calling you about? Because there's like 3 things I would call you about.
Okay. All right. Can you give me some hint to steer me in the right direction so I don't just sit here silently? Sure. Yeah. All right. Give me a little taste.
It's the best example I'll give you is I haven't looked for something so religiously and consistently since I was 11 years old, calling video game stores to see if they had Super Mario 3 in stock.
Okay.
I look for something every single day. And today it has appeared.
You found it. You found the thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Are we in the entertainment realm? Are we in like a movie? Movie?
Not quite movie, but we are in the every day I open my phone and say, is today the day?
Okay.
And now, today's the day.
Today's the day. So are you going to go to a store to make a purchase? Did you place an order? Did you order something online?
No.
Okay. So something exists, something that you would like to either watch or hear.
Yes.
Okay. Is it watch?
No.
Okay. So now we're in the music realm, and there is a release of something. I'm proud that I'm getting close here, but I don't know where to. Just you gotta help me.
I'll give it to you. It's fine. I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
The title of the episode is Hallelujah. That's the next truth.
Oh Jesus! Yeah. Okay. Is this the music box thing?
No.
Okay, because there's a Jeff Buckley documentary coming out, and I hate that song so much that I can't wait. I can't wait to hate watch this documentary.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Does it involve Jeff Buckley?
No, it's about Rob Harvilla.
Oh.
60 songs that explain the 90s, the 2000s is back.
It's Wednesday. That's right. He popped up on something else and was like, yeah, I'll be back soon. And I couldn't wait. It's the best thing that exists. One of the things I have written down today is to talk about, they put out the list of the top 10 YouTube podcasts. And as you can imagine, it's all over the board. There's like political stuff and tech stuff and how to be a CEO, Diary of a CEO type of stuff. And then just straight comedy, Kill Tony, Joe Rogan, whatever you would quantify that as. That stuff is all there. Not listed on that thing is what I do believe is the best content that exists, and that's why you called, and damn it, I should have gotten it. I should have known. Okay, I hate the song Hallelujah, but I will listen because I have found each episode of this show, the more that I like the song going in, or I should say, the less I care about the song going in, the more I tend to like the episode. So I'm excited about that. And I've got driving around to do today. Oh man, that's great.
Right.
Good. And my show early, just listen to that one.
I almost called you like last week to say, have you heard? Because I know he does other podcasts and other stuff, and like you were the one that turned me onto this podcast and how great it is. I almost called you to say, like, are we sure he's coming back? It's been almost 3 months.
Yeah.
It's been 3 months. I've been waiting forever. And not only is there a new episode, this episode is an hour and 43 minutes.
That's fantastic.
Like,
that's great.
Holy cow.
That's what I need today. That's great.
Right. And for anyone that knows, like, the format of this is, like, it's a long-form podcast, and it's great. And it's about way more than just a song. It's cultural touch points throughout, like, the years and the influences. And it also means that he'll just have a new one every couple days or week now. So, like, we're about to get it's like when Netflix drops the next 10 episodes of something, right? Like, it's back.
Oh, that's very exciting. That's so attention, John Fuller, who I know listens to this show every day. That's great news for him. I saw him last night. We talk about it all the time and have almost kind of forgotten in the last month. It's just been such a long break. The break he took was surprising. He did 15 episodes, 15 weeks in a row, and then just went away for 15 weeks or something. So that's awesome news. I have been efforting to connect with him for 2 years now, and he's always like, yeah, I'll do it, and then we just never do it. And I don't know why we don't do it, but maybe this will be the thing that pushes me forward to get in touch with him again and get him on the show. I like talking to my favorite people, which is why I'm glad when you call in. And if I can get him, he's my favorite person I don't know.
Right. Good.
All right. You called about 3 things.
No, as I said, you want 3 guesses, but I can make up 2 other things.
No, you don't. You don't have to do that. Right. What's going on in life? How are things? How's work?
Work's good. I mentioned today, flex scheduling. Like, the Patriots-Bills game did not get flexed, and it was a spot where I was hoping that it did, because I'm sure you've run into this many times. I'm about to have my first ever child has an engagement during a Bills game crossover, and it's not just birthday party. My daughter has her first ever dance recital.
Oh yeah, you got to go to that.
Bills. 100%.
Wow.
And I was thinking, growing up, we watched sitcoms where the dad's I don't want to be there. I'm excited. I can't wait to see her and do it. But it is during Bills Patriots.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's tough. Well,
I had an experience. There was a comedian that came to town named James McCann. He's this little Australian guy who's awesome, and he played Helium. And he played the night of Bills Chiefs. And the Bills Chiefs game is, it was a 4:30-ish game. The show is slated for 8:15. But when you go to Helium, you have to be there early because they let everybody in at once and then close the door to kind of seal off the theater. And so we were told we had to be there by 6:45. So the choices were watch till near the end of the game, drive as fast as we could to get downtown, or drive as fast as we could during halftime of the game, sit, have a couple beers, do that, and then watch the show. And that's what we ended up doing. But that was bizarre. Even being in the car while a single play is happening during a Bills game is jarring to me. And I ended up I'm sure you remember, late in the first half, the Chiefs had a ridiculous drive to go down, and I think they only got 3, but it was the Bills had scored, and I was like, all right, I'm getting in the car to go pick up my buddy. He lives 3 minutes away. And in the 3 minutes I was in the car, I ended up having to get out and go watch the end of the first half at his house. Then we drove as fast as we could. We made it 3 minutes into the third quarter. So it all worked out okay, but it is jarring. I remember the first time we had a kid conflict thing, and it was a birthday party. And I just passed on it. It's my friend invited our whole family to a birthday party at the zoo, and the Bills are playing the Vikings. And so I sat home and I watched Josh Allen become a man and jump over Anthony Barr, and couldn't wait for my wife and kids to come home so I could tell them, hey, we've got a quarterback now. So I've dealt with this. I'm a few years ahead of you in the kid game, obviously. The events, let's talk about this, because we've talked about doing an entire show just about how things change with kids. How ridiculous has your schedule gotten with 3? I mean, obviously a baby. How young is the baby?
She's a year and a half.
All right, so she doesn't do anything. She just hangs out with you guys. Okay, so that's helpful. But as far as schedule is concerned, how hectic is it? How many things are piled on a calendar?
We're just getting started into where it's a lot. Like my daughter does dance, my son does soccer, and winter is a little bit of a break, right? But like we get back to summer and spring, we'll be into t-ball and multiple games in a week and practice. So I'm just starting to like scratch the surface of how crazy it's going to get, and how you're juggling. All right, well, which car do you need? You got to go here, I got to go here. The kids don't go in that car, they go in this car, so we'll go here, then we'll trade cars, and I'm starting to get a sense of like how nuts it's going to be.
We've got that, plus it's all like bags of equipment. So it's like, all right, who took that kid to his last baseball thing? All right, so his baseball stuff is in the van, but the other kid's is in the truck. But I'm taking that kid. So we've got to swap the stuff from one vehicle to the other. We had a thing last week where we are a family of 5. We all had to be somewhere at the exact same time, 4 different places. Zach had a basketball practice on the boulevard. I had a basketball meeting in Cheektowaga. Drew had baseball practice in like Cheektowaga, Amherst, near the airport, and Nate had parent-teacher conferences that he had to attend, along with, in theory, both of us, but we couldn't both do it. So my wife had to go to that with him, and it was all within, like, the parent-teacher conference was at 6:50, and everything else was at 7 o'clock. And it's just like, what are you supposed to do? You wind up leaving things early, being late for things, and it's not excuses. It's like, I can't do all the stuff. I'm trying to do all the stuff. I don't know. It's rough. But it's fun. It's active. It keeps you moving, keeps you going.
Yeah.
We had last night. So Zach, my oldest, is trying out for school basketball. He's trying out for the modified team, which is for a kid who mostly wants to sit around and play guitar and drums. Telling him that tryouts are Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, and they're 2 hours each, was pretty jarring to him. But yesterday I had to drop him off at his tryout and then take my other kid to his practice. And next week, 2 of them have practice. And this all depends on whether or not if he makes the school team, he'll be on 3 teams. So we'll have we'll have 3 kids playing on 5 basketball teams. I think I'm doing it wrong.
I mean, that's obviously a lot. Like what I've learned is the schedule. I remember being in a Gus Macker tournament however long ago.
Yeah.
This is the difference between being your own adult and being a parent. Is, hey, our game is at 9 a.m. and if we win, we play at 2:30 p.m. Like, all right, well, we're gonna just not go to that game. Like, we're just gonna. Who cares? It's fine. We'll play some basketball.
Right.
We'll just forget it because I don't want to come back in 5 hours. But as a parent, you're like, well, we're definitely gonna have to come back in 5 hours. So,
Right.
There's no skipping anything. I saw. Once you sign your kid up, you're kind of taking a gamble. I asked my son if he wants to play indoors. He's like, I don't want to play inside. Well, it's freezing outside in the winter. You still want to play, right? And he's like, yeah, but I don't want to play inside. So, like, I'm gambling. I'm like, I'm going to take my chances that when he gets there, he's going to forget that he didn't want to do it, and then he's going to want to. So anyway, yeah.
Are we talking about that new? Are we talking about that new baseball facility at Shoshone?
No, not yet. Not yet. We're talking just about soccer. Right?
Okay, all right. Because we've got there's a scrimmage. I can't wait to see the place. I've heard great things about it. I like all the people that are involved in it, and we've got a scrimmage there. It might be this week, it might be this Friday, or maybe next Friday, something like that. But there's a game coming up there that I'm excited about, and we're in your hood, so I'm maybe you can swing by or something. Come check out some baseball.
Maybe we'll come and watch it. Because baseball.
Yeah, because you're not busy at all, so you can do that. Is there anything else? I'm trying to think. What's okay. Have you seen the latest Paul Thomas Anderson movie, One Battle After Another?
No.
Okay. The second that it becomes available to you, I would like you to watch it. And then probably the next day you should watch it again. And then the day after that, you'll watch it once, you'll text me about it. Then you'll watch it again, and then you'll come on and we'll talk about it because it is absolutely spectacular and perfect and wonderful. And I need more people to see it. It was released, it was marketed poorly. It came out like 2 months ago. It is available. Like, you can rent it for $20 streaming, or if you know other ways around it, you could watch it tonight yourself, like I've done. I can't say enough good things about it. I'm really caught up in, like, I'm trying to watch a movie a day now. You can do that, I'm busy, but the kids go to bed eventually. And rather than flipping through to see what's on TV, I've just been accumulating a list of movies I've never seen. I watched Unbreakable for the first time. Have you seen Unbreakable? That is
Is that
M.
what's
Night
that?
Shyamalan, Bruce
Oh
Willis,
yeah, Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson. It everything I knew about the movie made me think I shouldn't see it, and then I was talked into seeing it because you know how I am. I'm quirky with there are certain things I just can't. I can't watch castles. I can't watch magic. I can't watch
Right.
dragons. Whatever. And I don't watch superheroes. And I was convinced to watch it, and I same thing. Watched it once, watched it again the next night. Awesome. It's 25 years old, but it was new to me.
Yeah, I remember that movie. I remember like his reputation after Sixth Sense was like, oh, this is a visionary storyteller who twists and turns and all this. And Unbreakable was pretty good. It was really good. And then that's when it was like The Village, and I think a lot of his stuff was like he carried such this expectation that people got disappointed when it would be like
Yeah.
Sixth Sense turn all the time.
Yes.
The reality is like his movies are really good at making you, whatever, you say this a lot about directors, but like making you feel a way. Like that was the movie. I don't know how it was, but man, it felt really uncomfortable, right? I felt scared. I felt unsure. And I always appreciated that. Like when a movie makes me feel a way, like that means it's working.
Yeah. Well, you think back to like The Sixth Sense. I remember I saw that. I was at training camp in Fredonia, and Chris Brown came up to me. He's like, "Do you know about this movie, The Sixth Sense?" And I said, I've heard of it. He's like, go see it tonight. I don't want to talk about it at all right now. Don't listen to anybody talk. Just go see it. And it worked in that way because the surprise was a surprise. But once you go into a movie expecting a surprise, it kind of puts a damper on it. And that became his reputation. Like you're just sitting there trying to figure out what's the twist.
Right.
I'm blown away by the fact that I've known who this guy is for 26 or 27 years. And I watched a movie that's 25 years old, and I know he's the twist guy, and he still completely got me. It's impressive because everything is hiding in plain sight, and you just don't see it until you see it, and then you feel almost stupid for not having seen it the whole time. So I don't know. I'm pumped up lately about my movie watching things.
If you want to go with movies and TV and how, it's kind of like, if I can make a comparison, you know how you find out that when you get a new flavor of potato chip that's so good, it's because chemists sat in a lab and designed it to be perfect for your dumb brain. These are amazing. It's like, well,
I told you.
We designed that. And movies can do that too. And sometimes I feel like, okay, I'm a mark, but I don't care. I actually want to be entertained. And with Stranger Things returning, so like Stranger Things, when it came out, season 1, like is it okay to call it a cultural phenomenon, even if you haven't seen it?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. So when it comes out season 1, I'm like, this is some of the best stuff I've ever seen. Period piece, Brad, for like how old we are and watching a show in the 80s that nails it so well. And season 1 was amazing, and season 2 is amazing. And then, like it keeps going. It's been 3 years since season 4 to season 5. And we didn't want to do the thing where we rewatch all 4 seasons to get to where we are. So I saw a list of like, watch this one and watch this one. So we popped on like the creators. Like somebody posted on Instagram, they recommended these 4 episodes before season 5. So we're just sitting around the other night. Kids are in bed. My wife and I put on season 2, episode 4 or something. Haven't watched any of the show in 3 years, and this episode's probably 7 years old. And what did we feel watching that for the first time in 7 years? Like, this show is amazing. Like, it's instantly right back to, I've seen this. It's long enough ago that I kind of forgot most of it, and I might as well be watching it all over again for the first time. And like all the stuff comes rushing back, and I'm just like, this show is a masterpiece, even if it's not great. And I don't like this, or I don't like that. Like, it's just so well done that you just appreciate it on such an incredible level.
I think I need to watch that show. I was talking with John Fuller last night about the Paul Thomas Anderson movie, about Unbreakable, and my sons have all been very into Stranger Things. Nate had it written down. You talk about our calendar. It's loaded with baseball games and basketball practices and jazz concerts, and also it's at Stranger Things. Season 5 was on the calendar in our kitchen because Nate couldn't wait. He got home. I think it started at 8 o'clock that night. He watched the whole damn thing, episodes 1 through 4, and they've been rewatching them. And now the youngest is getting into it. So most of the time when I walk into my living room, Stranger Things is on TV lately, and I think I might have to do it. When it first came out, I think I was told I needed to see it. I watched for 20 minutes, and I was just like, I don't know. It felt too much like they were forcing the 80s nostalgia thing, just a little too like ham-handed, and I had to turn it off. But I've heard enough from enough people whose opinions I respect that I think I need to go back and watch it because people are blown away by it, and I didn't partake. But that's the beauty of right now, this time in media, is you can decide, all right, it's December 2nd, 2025, and I'm going to watch an M. Night Shyamalan movie from 2000, and it's just as fresh. And I'm going to start watching Stranger Things. On my list is Better Call Saul. I loved Breaking Bad. I just have never gotten around to Better Call Saul. Some people say, hey, it might be better. I'll get to it, but I can do it on my terms. It's tough making the commitment, though, because it's so much easier to settle in on a 2-hour movie than a 40-hour, 50-hour project of a TV show.
Right. I mean, that's Better Call Saul. I like it a lot. I don't get what is better than Breaking Bad. I just don't. I mean, I thought it was very, very good. It's very different. It's a very different pace. Have you seen Shrinking?
I don't think so. Is that Pete Holmes? Not Pete Holmes. Shrinking is HBO. What is Shrinking?
Apple. Shrinking is Jessica Williams, Harrison Ford, Jason Segel.
No. Apple. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I should see that one.
That show. Yeah, that show's amazing. Like it's comedy. Is it the guy that did Scrubs? Maybe I think it is Bill Lawrence.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's Scrubs.
It is funny. It is. I mean, I love Scrubs. It's less hokey than Scrubs, but Shrinking is an incredible show. Just awesome. And Harrison Ford in it is good. Yeah, it's amazing.
All right. While we're on Apple TV, Severance.
Yes.
Okay. I watched season 1 of Severance, and it was one of the best things I'd ever seen. And then I watched the first episode of season 2 of Severance, and I had no idea what was going on. And then I went back and I watched the final episode of season 1 again to remind me what was going on. And then I realized I don't have the patience or tolerance to wait for a show to come out week after week. This happened to me with Breaking Bad, too. I ripped through like 4 seasons of it, and then I had to watch it 1 week at a time, and it just didn't work. I forget too much stuff. It's not even that I need to see it now. It's like, no, I need to be in the flow of it and know exactly what's going on. So what I ended up doing is waiting for Severance. I'm sure the season's over by now, probably over for months, so that I can watch them all at once. And I will watch season 2 of Severance, and I look forward to it because it's awesome. But my brain doesn't work in a way that allows me to wait a week for episodic television. Here's another. This is an entertainment thing that I discovered today as we're talking about Stranger Things. Are you aware that, again, new landscape of media, you can do anything, any way you want, that the finale of Stranger Things is going to be in theaters?
Yeah, on New Year's Eve?
I don't know.
It's New Year's Eve, yeah.
It might be. But I just think that's an interesting twist and a good way to, suck a bunch of money out of people's pockets, because I know for sure we're going to have to go.
I think I saw the runtime for like the last 5 episodes, and I think they're all at least an hour and a half. Like they're just putting out anthologies here. Like these are long,
Yeah, the final episode's 2 hours and 4 minutes, and will appear in theater in like 500 different theaters. I don't know if it's a one-night thing that it's happening, or if it's going to be in theaters for a month and then it'll be on Netflix. I'm not positive. I didn't read the whole thing, but I saw 2 hours and 4 minutes, and in 500 plus theaters across America or North America or something like that. Pretty cool. It's fun.
Yeah.
All right. I'm trying to think now that I like talking to you. I like when I have you on. So I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that let me see if there's anything I have written down that I was dying to discuss with you. What's your experience with Temu? Have you bought anything on Temu?
Never.
Okay. Don't. It's tempting, it's addictive, and you can buy 75 things for $81, and it all seems cool, and then everyone comes with its own set of problems. I have this. Okay, I bought, for example, I'm doing this show, and there's video now, so it's just me sitting in my basement, but I've got, and you were here once and we did it, and you sat off to the side. I've got my desk turned now, so it's facing a different way. I've bought different lights and cameras and stuff like that to build on this, and it's all kind of piling up. But when I don't know exactly what I want, getting stuff on Temu is a good idea. So I've got these cool new lights those worked out great. They're like the exact same height as my monitor, so it's making my face brighter, which is cool. But what was my one of the things I bought was, I'm doing this video. I bought like a sign that says on air and recording, like a metal sign. I thought it was awesome, and it was cheap, and I couldn't wait to get it. And I got it, and it turns out that it's like a metal. It can't even be a foot wide. It's probably, I don't know, 10 inches by 6 inches. And I'm gonna hold it up right now. It's a picture of the metal sign that I thought I was getting. It's metal. It is in fact metal. But this doesn't light up. This doesn't plug in. It's just a picture, and it's kind of cut off, and it's terrible. But I got it for like $2, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But there it is. It's sitting there. Now who's calling me? Look at this. My phone is blowing up today. All right.
One more question before I go.
Yeah.
Have you been able to hear me clearly the whole time?
I'm sorry. Have I been able to what?
Hear me the whole time.
It's jumbled a little bit here and there. You've had good moments and bad moments.
Okay. Because I realized halfway through this phone call that I'm supposed to go get a new phone because no one can hear me on my phone.
Oh.
And I forgot about that. And I called you live to go on bad idea.
Okay. Right now you're perfectly clear.
Okay.
As you were starting to ask if I could hear you, I couldn't hear you very well. But most of it's been fine. It was never quite to the point where I say, hang up and call back. But you'll be fine. I mean, maybe you could use a new phone. Remember when
I got to get a new phone.
Remember when my phone used to drop out every time at the exact same place on the 290? Yes. And then I would call you back and swear at T-Mobile?
Yeah. Well, apologies to the phone. It's the kind of thing where it's like, your phone's broken. Who knows that? Literally everybody but you.
Yeah.
So, sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're fine. You sound great right now. It's good.
All right, good.
All right, go get your phone. Thanks for calling.
All right, thanks, Fred.
Thanks, Jer. Jeremy White, checking in. Out of nowhere. He's a little Jer. That's pretty cool. All right, it is Riter Radio. I'm going to let you know that today is a day where I've got something I've got to do right after the show. So I even put it into the Mixler app that the show today is 10 to 11:30. I might go a little bit beyond that, but I have to be out the door at noon, and I haven't taken a shower yet. So we're gonna wrap things up a little bit earlier than normal today. All right, things I need to. I'm so excited. Thank you, Jeremy, for pointing out the new episode of 60 Songs That Explain the 90s. In case we just jumped into that a little too quickly without explaining what is so freaking good about that show, Rob Harvilla he works for The Ringer, and he does a podcast. It was originally called 60 Songs That Explain the 90s. In each episode, there would be a song title as the name of the episode, and then that episode would be it started off, it has evolved. I'll tell you what it has evolved into rather than how it started, but it's like an hour or so of a written, like a scripted monologue, often with little clips of songs, always really with clips of songs, not just the one we're talking about, not just the band we're talking about that day, but stories about life. And it's fantastic. And then at the end, he will have a guest on, and they'll talk more specifically about the song and its relevance to the world at large, to music, to life. It's perfect. So perfect that when he did 60 Songs That Explain the 90s, he got near 60, and they were just getting in the groove of how to make the show great. And he came on and said, all right, fine, we're doing 90 songs that explain the 90s. And they took a break for a month or two and then came back and did 30 more, got it up to 90. And as that was approaching, as number 90 was approaching, because he said he wasn't sure, they didn't know how successful it would be. It was a shot, so they went with 60 episodes, thought that was enough. Then they upped it to 90. And then right as they were approaching 90, he's like, all right, 120. No, I'm not really going to do. So they stopped at 90. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they did go 120. And then he took a break and said, I'll come back with something else. And then what he came back with was 60 songs that explain the 90s, the 2000s. And that's where we are right now. And there it is. Yeah, there's a new episode for the first time in forever. And it's one of my least favorite songs of all time. It is Hallelujah from Jeff Buckley. But this fits because The Ringer is, I don't know the exact relationship, but there's this Music Box series, TV series. There was one about like Woodstock 99. There was one about Juice World. There was one about, oh God, I can't even remember what they were, but they've all been very good. these music docs. Jason Isbell. There was a Jason Isbell one that showed you that he was going to be getting divorced, and then he did. I liked watching it, but it was sad because I felt like I watched as his relationship with his wife developed through his music, and you could see that things were on edge. A lot of it was shot during like COVID era, and it was just, everybody was grumpy. But you could see things kind of falling apart there. Excellent movie, just sad if you like the guy and the girl, the woman. But anyway, these music box docs have been very good. And I was listening to probably Bill Simmons in the last couple days, maybe even this morning. I woke up at like 7 and just stayed in bed listening to Bill Simmons and Cousin Sal talking about football. But it was mentioned there's the newest music box documentary on HBO, which I don't know that Bill Simmons runs the whole thing, if he's like the executive producer, but it's definitely connected. And it's called Hallelujah, and it's coming out this week, maybe Friday. So this is some synergy here as the podcast. My favorite podcast is about one of my least favorite songs, and then there's a documentary, and I will for sure listen to the podcast and probably watch the documentary too, because that's who I am. Here's the algorithm, the way the algorithm of my life is working. I have YouTube TV, which is different from YouTube. Like when I turn on the TV, sometimes YouTube comes on, sometimes YouTube TV comes on. YouTube TV is far more standard. That's where you get your Bills games. That's where you get your Grey's Anatomy, not me, but my wife, regular stuff. But YouTube itself is just an unlimited supply of things I didn't know I needed to watch. But I don't mind being a victim of this algorithm that is correctly telling me, hey, I know you just turned on the TV and you thought you were going to watch a movie, but are you aware that you can watch the first 3 or 4 songs from this 1992 Canada Day 1992 performance by the Tragically Hip at Molson Park in Barrie, Ontario? I was like, yes, please. Like, they open with 50 Mission Cap. I'm in. I started. Oh, not even I started. I sit down. I turn on TV. The plan is to watch a movie. Before I can do that, YouTube is like, what about watching the Hip perform live in 92? Young, skinny, super vibrant Gord Downey. And I was like, yeah, all right, you got me. And I get about 30 seconds into it, and I pick up my phone to look for something, probably to look for the set list of the show. And I have one text message that just came in. Who is it that texted me? Can you guess? Friend of the show, guy who's been on the show multiple times, Jeremy Hoyle. Jeremy Hoyle, who's the band leader of the Strictly Hip, which is the local Tragically Hip tribute band that I absolutely love and my kids love, and we go see all the time. And so then I end up having to text with Jer for the entirety of the Hip thing, talking about how great it is. And then I couldn't stop watching it, and that led into, it only showed, it was like 4 songs and it ended, which made me sad. But it was a professionally shot concert that aired live on Canada Day in 1992, and it's all the songs from Fully Completely were brand new at the time. So it's just like 100th Meridian. They played Cordelia, which was not new, and they played, it was like 4 or 5 songs. I'm forgetting one. Something else. Last of the Unplugged Gems. That's the one that made me cry. Kind of dumb, and so are you. That's the lyric. I'm not talking about us. I think we're all about you. You that's listening. You're very intelligent because you found this thing, this tiny little streaming thing. So my point is, so to continue, I sit down to watch a movie, and it's like, Brad, you like music. You should watch this Hip thing. And I go, okay. It's like, oh, you like that? You should watch this other Hip thing. Okay. And then the next thing that pops up is I must have spent an hour and a half. I fell asleep to music reaction videos, which I don't totally understand how those are profitable, because I don't feel like you can just take 46 and 2 by Tool and play the song and nod your head like this and monetize it. I don't know how it works, but I will say that custom content exists for everyone. And The more you watch, the more you choose things, the better it gets at picking stuff for you. Like, I was proud of YouTube last night for the things it told me to watch. And I never even got around to a movie. The plan was a movie. I ended up falling asleep. I don't know why it was so fascinating for me to see this. It's a black guy named Polo, who I'd never encountered before, I don't think. He looked a little familiar, so maybe I have. But people write in and request songs, or at least that's what he says. And then he at least pretends that he's never heard them before and listens for the first time. And I don't know how much I buy any of it, but it's a show. But for some reason, watching, 35-year-old black dude get really into Tool was plenty of entertainment for me last night. I didn't need to go to Paul Thomas Anderson or Quentin Tarantino to get my fix, or M. Night Shyamalan. Shyamalan. I didn't need them last night because I had some dude named Polo playing songs that I love, listening to them, and then telling me that they were great. It's a pretty simple concept. There's a whole world of this out there. Like, to the point where the one video I was watching of him, he was talking about how he doesn't know how other people do music reaction videos because he doesn't watch them. I'm like, what are you talking about? That doesn't even seem like it's an actual genre. How did you know to do it? You didn't invent it. So what are we talking about here? But it was riveting to watch, this guy at least pretend to hear like a song called Hooker with a Penis for the first time. It's a great song. And he even said, like, I hate this one because I like to listen to music in my car, and I've got a 6-year-old, and I'm not going to have that on my screen, so I hope I don't like the song. And by the end of it, he's like, that song is amazing. I guess I just have to go for rides without my 6-year-old or something. I don't remember exactly what he did. But that's the kind of stuff. I get on the kids for being addicted to YouTube things. Like, that's all they watch. They've got like 2 shows, especially my youngest. He's 9. He's got like 1 show that he falls back on, or maybe 2 that are like Netflix shows. Ricky, Nikki, Dickie, and Dawn. They're all like Saved by the Bell style productions, but for younger kids. There's that one. There's Bella and the Bulldogs. There's a like elementary school football team with a girl quarterback. He watches that. They play on a tiny little football field. Like, remember Hang Time? Hang Time, which was, it was like Saved by the Bell, but a basketball team. And initially it was coached by Dick Butkus. And then they replaced him with Reggie Theus. And one of my biggest regrets in broadcasting is the time I got to interview Dick Butkus. And I thought it would be cool if instead of talking about football, I led with Hang Time, where he was the star. And I'm like, what happened? He's like, they fired me. Oh, sorry, football legend Dick Butkus, for bringing up the one unsuccessful thing you've ever done in your life and leading with that. But yeah, they replaced him with head coach Reggie Theus, and the show went on for, Butkus probably did 2 years, and then Theus did 2 or 4, or I don't know. But those type of shows exist for my kids. Other than that, I mean, I like the experience of putting a thing on and watching it. And my 9-year-old likes the experience of just constantly switching. I'm going to watch this video for 21 seconds. I'm going to watch this one for 18 seconds. I'm going to watch this one for 9. It makes him not go to sleep. You can't fall asleep if you're flipping. You need to stop on something and watch it. And so he ends up staying up too late sometimes. And typically when I do find him asleep on a couch, I have to pry the remote control out of his hand because that's what he's doing. So there's a part of me that says, oh, kids these days, short attention span. We got to stop letting algorithms dictate what they're. And then it happens to me, and I love it. When they get it right, I love it. I watch a lot of stand-up comedy. I watch Kill Tony every week. I watch anything that has Shane Gillis in it. If I just open up YouTube, the stuff that it suggests to me is always super tempting. When you go into a restaurant, sometimes you go into a restaurant, you're like, ugh, all right, I'm going to choose between these 2 things because nothing else is appealing to me. And then there are other times you go to a restaurant and everything on the menu looks awesome and you want all of them. You're like, can I order 6 things? That's what I feel like. That's what I felt like last night. when YouTube popped on the TV, and it's like, do you want this live hip thing? Do you want this Tool thing? This guy reviewing a Tool song. Do you want this hunk of stand-up comedy? Do you want this guy who is reviewing the stand-up comedy that you already watched? Do you like all of it? Is there? Do you want the new 48-minute special from this comic that you like? All of it is on display. And it's like, it's not enough time in the day to consume all of this stuff. And yet here I am producing more content and throwing it into that world, a world where, and I should open this thing up because I was going to start with this until Jeremy called, which was better. Talking to Jer is awesome. Where did that one go? I've got too many things open. YouTube releases. Oh, come on. Now it's going to... It acts like this when I have too many things open. I think it's this tab. Oh, YouTube releases its first ever recap of videos you've watched. All right, I do want to read that. But that's not the thing I'm looking for. The thing I'm looking for is top 10 podcasts on YouTube. There's so much stuff. Like, even this. I've got 30 different things I want to talk about. Here we go. Top 10 podcasts on YouTube. Please open. All right. So, number 10, Diary of a CEO. Don't know it. Subscribers, 13.8 million. This past weekend with Theo Vaughn. I don't like Theo Vaughn. A bunch of my friends that are into most of the same comedians I'm into swear by Theo Vaughn. I don't know if it's his face or it's his hair or it's his voice, but there's something about him that I can't do. I don't hate him. I just am not drawn to his style, I guess. 4.36 million subscribers. Smosh reads Reddit stories. I've thought about doing this. I don't know if you're on Reddit, if you're familiar with Reddit. I don't even know how to explain Reddit. If you don't know what Reddit is, it's almost like a bulletin board type of vibe. But there's one for every possible topic. And there's one called Hypothetical Situation, where people just post these crazy ideas and ask, all right, if you're offered this and this and this, and what would you do? It's just like, it's like a would you rather type of deal. But some of them are super creative, and then there are thousands of replies. And often I'll see one and think, that could be an entire show. I guess what I'm saying is my inability to focus is a problem in a world where the number 8 podcast is a guy reading Reddit stories. Like, I've thought of that. I haven't done it. We are not in the... I checked. We're not in the top 10. Riter Radio has not cracked the top 10 of YouTube yet because we're like under 200 subscribers and they're at 9 million. So we're working on it. But what I'm starting to think is that I don't want to stop doing the live show. I like the live show. I think it's fun. I don't think it has to necessarily be 2 hours long every day, but I do think it has to be every day. I think Monday through Friday live show is imperative. But I think that there should be some focus on a podcast, like a pre-recorded, get it right and then release it type of situation, because that seems to be where all the attention is. How on earth is a random person going to discover this show that is so scattershot? It's what I like to do. It's how I want to do the show. But it's sort of too broad in its scope. If this was just, I think we'd have more viewers and listeners if this was just a Bills podcast. But there's enough Bills podcasts, and I don't have anything extra to say. I've got a little bit to say, so I throw it in there. If it was just about movie reviews, if it was just, for example, the other day, Monday, Scott Wilson comes on, and we did probably half an hour talking about the Bills Hallmark movie. Just reviewing Hallmark movies with Scott, I think would be a more productive, profitable, attention-grabbing thing than doing 10 hours of live radio every week. I still want to do the live stuff. But I think the podcast part of it is like something I should be doing in addition to this. So I'm working through all of it. And I will say, with that in mind, I've got 3 different meetings over the next 2 days, which is why, like I said, I got to get out of here a little early to discuss some of this type of stuff. So I know I keep saying I know we're 218 episodes in, and I'm like, watch it grow, watch it grow. 218 is a lot, but it's also nothing. I mean, I've been doing the show since January, consistently. There were other things that have been called Riter Radio in the past. There have been weekly podcasts. There was Trending Buffalo podcast. I do the UB football podcast with Scott. Like, there's that kind of stuff that exists. But I think honing all of this into bringing it together into one thing, or maybe multiple other things. But specificity helps. Like, YouTube knows to show me Tragically Hip stuff and Shane Gillis stuff and Tool stuff. It knows that. But who in Nebraska is ever going to get recommended this live show from Buffalo, New York? Nobody. So the beauty of being able to do the thing by yourself is that you can put it out there, and if it's good, it'll rise to the top. But if it's generic enough that it's not hitting anyone's algorithms, then it's not going to naturally grow. So I'm looking for that. I'm looking to put that thing together. And that might be trivia. Trivia might be the answer there. It might be some sort of a review type of thing. I mean, there's a part of me, every time I watch a movie, I want to just talk about it for half an hour, but I don't want to just do it by myself. I want to do it with somebody else who's seen the movie. So maybe, coming up with a plan for that, with an assignment, almost a book club. And I don't want to do it with new movies. I had this idea, my God, like way before the rewatchables existed. I remember pitching it, and it was with Jeremy. Pitching it to, whatever. It doesn't matter who I pitched it to. But the idea of just reviewing stuff that's streaming. Like, review Netflix stuff. Watch it and review it. Talk about it. And then anybody who wants to see it can see it. Review stuff on Prime. Review stuff that is available to the vast majority of the people who are in the listening and viewing audience, and give them something specific to cling to. I am going to try this. I hope it's today. Just taking that Hallmark portion of the conversation with Scott the other day and releasing that as its own thing, and just putting that out there in the world and doing all the SEO stuff you're supposed to do, which is, optimizing for search engines. That's the SEO, search engine optimization. Doing all the stuff to try to catch the wave of those algorithms. I have a feeling that within a couple days, that will become the most popular episode of the show, even if it's not a real episode of Riter Radio. So just kind of thinking out loud, giving you a little taste of the stuff that swirls in my head on a daily basis as I'm putting together this show for you. So I appreciate you listening and calling and texting and emailing and subscribing and liking and sharing and all this stuff. I'm sick of saying all this stuff. I'm working on it. I know that every now and then I give this kind of speech about like, hey, we're not quite where we want to be yet. Anytime I listen back to the show or watch the show back, I like what I see. Like, I think good stuff is coming through. But a little bit of focus, I think, might be the answer to making this thing really hum. All right. Also on the top 10, the Sean Ryan Show. I don't know who he is, but he's a former U.S. Navy SEAL and Blackwater contractor. He promises to give viewers a front row seat to the world's most riveting stories. Among his recent topics, drones, AI, geopolitics, aliens, and can you increase penile length? Number 6 is 48 Hours. Good for you, 48 Hours. Good for CBS. Taking the old and making it new. 48 Hours podcast. The venerable CBS True Crime Show has found new life on YouTube, where true crime is big business. 48 Hours, lengthy news magazine-style investigations play well on the streaming giant. Its mix of cold cases, wrongly convicted prisoners, and missing persons is popular. Pretty good for a franchise that premiered on network TV in... When do you think it premiered? So I wouldn't have gotten this right. I would have missed by 20 years. Came out in 1988. I would have guessed it was like... It feels like it's existed my entire life. But I guess it popped on when I was 13 or 14. It's a good run. 88 through now is a good run, but it just feels like forever. Number 5, the Midas Touch podcast. Some guy whose name is similar to Midas, Mycellus, covers the hot topics of the day. Most popular video, hidden Trump videos found as secrets surface. Yeah, okay, so he's doing Trump stuff. 5.6 million subscribers. Rotten Mango is a woman doing true crime stuff. That's in fourth. Third is Good Mythical Morning. Former Christian evangelists who call themselves internetainers strive to eat truly unbelievable things. That's one I'll never get. I'll never understand that. I don't understand hot ones. I don't understand ghost pepper videos. It doesn't make sense to me. Explore surprising new products and trends. Compete in original games with celebrity guests. That sounds fun. And implement serious experiments in hilarious ways. Good Mythical Morning is new episodes every Monday through Friday. All right. And there you go. Most popular video. World's Hottest Pepper Challenge, Carolina Reaper. 32 million people watched somebody eat peppers? That sounds terrible. Maybe it's great. Number 2, Kill Tony. We talk about that a lot. It's live comedy. It's a like a variety show / gong show / open mic night / showcase for real comedians / Empire. I like that one. And then at number 1 is Joe Rogan, which I listen to sometimes. I find it interesting. He's almost always the least interesting part of his show, but that's good. He's just curious, and that's what I think makes the show work. And yeah, he's had some lunatics on there regularly as guests and gets criticized for that, but he has anybody who will come on, like anybody who's interesting and has something to say, he just has them on and has a conversation with them, and I like that. So I respect that. That's obviously the biggest thing. It's showing that with 20.5 million subscribers, and then second is Kill Tony with 2.5. It seems like they screwed something up here in the story. The numbers seem wrong, but those are the ones that I see popping up in conversation most often. Rogan comes up a lot. Kill Tony comes up a lot. Some of these I've never heard of, but there we are. So anyway, the point is, getting more specific would probably be helpful. Sort of, it's a master of none. Jack of all trades, master of none is kind of where I am. I got a little bit to say about a lot of things, and I could do that on the live show, but to grow, I think maybe more specific. So we're going to try that thing with the releasing just the Bill's love story Hallmark movie portion of Scott Wilson and I's conversation the other day. Let's see what happens. I got to take a break. I've been talking for more than an hour. It's crazy. It's crazy talk. What would we like to hear? Thin Lizzy? Do you want to hear Thin Lizzy? I do. Let's do that. We'll be back. I'm Brad Riter. It's Riter Radio. Thanks to Jeremy White for calling in. Good to hear from him. And thanks to him for pointing out that the new episode of 60 Songs That Explain the 90s, the 2000s, has dropped on Spotify, The Ringer and Spotify. Good. We'll be back. It's Riter Radio. All right, let's bring it back. Short show today. I've got things I got to do. So I'll be with you, I don't know, like 15, 20 more minutes, something like that. I've got it scheduled, the show officially. I put it on Mixler for 10 to 11:30, but it doesn't shut off till I shut it off, but I need to shut it off well in advance of noon today because I got stuff I got to do, man. I mentioned, Jeremy White was on, I mentioned that I learned today that the finale of Stranger Things, which I've seen 5 minutes of it here and 10 minutes of it there, and it seems fine, and I've been told I should watch it. Maybe I will. But the finale, we're in season 5 right now. They put out the first 4 episodes of the final season, and then the other 4 are coming soon. And then the finale, I mentioned, is going to be in theaters. And it's an interesting twist on, like, I'm into media and landscape of things and how different everything can be. You know, I obviously my basis is in radio more than anything else. And so I was like, I'll do a podcast. But audio podcast, you need the video element. But I'm still not doing the video element exactly the way that I should. But YouTube is the place you need to be. So there's just all kinds of stuff that has to be done. But I get it. Like, I'm into it. I appreciate it. It's obviously it would be easier if I wasn't doing all of this by myself. But I get it. And I'm interested in all of the different possibilities, which is why we're having a bunch of meetings in the next couple days. But this idea, Netflix reveals 500 plus movie theater locations and sets runtime at 2 hours and 5 minutes. I misspoke. I said 2 hours and 4 minutes. I was way off. So I hope you have an extra 60 seconds. The subheadline here, though, is what's really interesting to me. Theaters will sell concession vouchers rather than tickets, with exhibitors keeping all revenue from the screenings. So this sounds like a olive branch being reached out from Netflix to movie theaters. And I looked, there's a link you can click. It's going to be at Regal Elmwood and Regal Quaker Crossing. It's also going to be at Cineplex Odeon Niagara Square Cinemas, which I don't know if that's New York or Ontario, but it's Niagara Falls. It's at a place in Rochester, more in like Toronto, Stony Creek. Those are the ones that were presented to me. So for sure, you can catch this locally at Regal Elmwood or Regal Quaker Crossing. But the voucher thing is interesting to me. The end is near for Stranger Things. Netflix has confirmed the theater locations that will screen the series finale. Per the streamer, which is Netflix, the finale of the global hit series will screen in over 500 theaters across the U.S. and Canada starting December 31st at 5 p.m. Pacific. So that would be 8 p.m. our time, and run through January 1st, 2026. So just 2 days of it. Netflix has also officially confirmed the finale's runtime is 2 hours and 5 minutes. Full list of participating theater locations can be found at a website, which I just looked at, which also contains instructions on how to RSVP. Tickets will not be sold for the screenings, but rather exhibitors will sell concession vouchers that will guarantee fans a seat at a screening. Thus, the theater owners will keep the revenue from the screenings. Netflix's owned theaters are not selling tickets or concession vouchers, but fans can sign up via the RSVP list. The news that the finale would screen in theaters was first announced in October after the Duffer brothers had expressed their desire to see that happen in a cover story interview with Variety. Netflix Chief Content Officer Bella Bajaria had originally said that was not going to happen, but changed course after fans expressed a very strong desire to see the finale on the big screen. I like the big screen is the thing. We're kind of wasting these awesome theaters that exist by just having everything available at home. And it's noticeable too. Like you go see the last two movies I remember seeing in a theater are the Mission Impossible Final Reckoning thing, and honestly, I think the last one I saw before that might have been Top Gun Maverick when that came out. And both of those movies, before it started, had Tom Cruise on screen thanking you for coming to the theater. You know, we've got to talk about this all the time. We've got a mall problem in America. All this land and space being occupied by malls that people don't want to go to anymore. And you know, maybe the mall is thriving right now because it's December and Christmas is coming, whatever. That would be the only explanation for the traffic I dealt with yesterday coming from Main Street, Williamsville. I just went up Union Road to try to get to basketball practice, which was at an elementary school like on Union. And traffic from Main Street, Williamsville, all the way to Galleria Drive was as if people were going to a Bills game. I mean, it was jammed. You were 14th in line at a red light, and you can see that there were 40 cars at the next red light. Like, it was just jammed right straight through. It was really bizarre. And then, strangely, everyone seemed to peel off right around Galleria Drive because the stretch from Galleria Drive to the actual school was no problem. So maybe malls are good, but only for a month, a year. Anyway, movie theaters all exist too. And they've gotten better. I mean, you think back to when the reclining seats started to come in. And I was like, oh, this is nice. And you had to start reserving your seat. And there are far fewer seats in a lot of the theaters now because they're just not packing them the way that they used to. The industry has changed. So there is navigation that needs to be done to keep that as a viable industry. And this is a part of it. That's pretty good. And I think about, I went and saw with the kids, Metallica had a live show in, I don't remember where it was, San Francisco or something. They did 2 nights of it. And you could go to the theater and watch Metallica in a theater. And that was awesome. We did that. The Talking Heads movie, Stop Making Sense, which is one of my favorite things. I talk about it way too much. But that was re-released in theaters for the 40th anniversary last year or 2 years ago, whenever that was. Last year. Came out in 84. Okay, yeah. We went and saw that. That was a great experience. But when, like, just a movie comes out, I'm not dying to run to a theater to see it. I probably should be. I probably should have been like John Fuller and gone to see One Battle After Another on the biggest screen possible. I probably should have done that. But this is nice to see sort of a bridging the gap, a reaching out from Netflix to spark some activity, some traffic at movie theaters. First 4 episodes of Stranger Things Season 5 is now available. The next 3 will drop on Christmas, with the finale dropping on Netflix and in theaters on the 31st. So you don't have to go to the theater, but you can go to the theater. So maybe I don't have to go to a theater. I thought I was going to have to. They say it's one of the most popular Netflix shows of all time. As the streamer previously announced, all 4 previous seasons re-entered the top 10 list prior to the launch of Season 5, marking the first time a series had 4 previous seasons on the list at the same time. Well, it makes sense. I feel like I should at least watch a full episode before deciding it's not for me, right? Everyone says I'd like it. I liked the 80s, too. I like nostalgia. It just felt so forced. And there's, like, magic. I'm looking at the picture, and there's, like, some sort of demon. I don't do demons. But maybe I should step outside my comfort zone. I'm certainly missing out on things I would enjoy by being so specific about the things that I won't watch. All right, it's 11:27. I've got easily 20 tabs open on my screen and no more than 10 minutes to contribute. So I'm going to just zip through, see what we find, close some things out, go from there. We'll wrap it up, and I'll be back with you tomorrow. Michael and Susan Dell of Dell Computers donate $6.25 billion to fund, quote, Trump accounts, unquote, for millions of American kids. Going to need to find out what this is about. They announced Tuesday they're donating the money I just said to fund investment accounts for at least 25 million American children. The enormous pledge will go toward helping fund Trump accounts, a new initiative that offers investment accounts for children. The Trump accounts were established as part of President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill Act and are set to launch in 2026. The Treasury Department is set to deposit $1,000 into the account of every eligible U.S. citizen child born from January 2025 through December 31st, 2028. The charitable gift will go toward children ages 10 and under who were born before the cutoff for the Treasury's funding. The Dell's donation will fund $250 deposits for investment accounts for at least 25 million children, resulting in a total gift of $6.25 billion. It's one of the largest private investments in American children in history, according to Invest America, a nonprofit organization helping spearhead the initiative to develop these accounts. They say, we feel super excited to be able to make a difference in millions of children's futures and create opportunity, hope, and prosperity for them. If you think about the power of compounding and what these accounts are likely to become over 10, 20, 30 years, that's super significant. That's true. Dell founded his tech company in 1984. He's the world's 11th richest individual. That's got to make him mad. I remember how mad I was when I was ranked 21st in my high school class. They made an announcement to come down, the following students, please report to the auditorium tomorrow morning at 9 or something. And they rattled off 20 names. And I was in there. And then they realized somebody had been forgotten, and it bumped me. I'm not in the picture. I intentionally wore a Public Enemy t-shirt to be in the top 20 students picture, and then I didn't get photographed. I'm not bitter at all. This happened 33 years ago. I'm still thinking about it. But that's got to be what it feels like. And this isn't going to help anyway. Giving away $6.25 billion. It's not going to help you become top 10. Michael, 11th. Net worth of $148 billion. Not even good enough to crack the top 10. Pathetic, really. Okay, close that one. This is going to take too long, just closing these things. Oh, good. Google Chrome is not responding. Do you hate pop-ups? Yes, I hate pop-ups. Of course I hate pop-ups. Everybody hates pop-ups. What's this? YouTube releases its first ever recap of videos you've watched. All right, let's see what this is. It's that time of year when companies are rolling out their Spotify Wrapped-like end-of-year recaps, letting users revisit the content they engage with the most, while YouTube has offered a YouTube Music recap the past few years. The platform announced Tuesday it's now launching a separate experience for videos watched on the main service. YouTube Recap features up to 12 personalized cards that highlight a user's top channels, interests, the evolution of their viewing habits, and personality type assignment based on their watching preferences. For instance, the Skill Builder personality type goes to users who are drawn to content that helps develop skills, while Sunshiners gravitate toward content that spreads positivity. Trailblazers watch content that's original and challenges the norm. Other personality types include the Wonder Seeker, the Connector, and the Dreamer. Users will also be able to see their top artists and songs of the year, but they can get deeper insights into the YouTube Music app with their annual YouTube Music Recap, which started rolling out last week. It is rolling out this week. You click on the U tab on YouTube. Those are words I just said in order. Go to YouTube and click on the U tab. The YouTube U tab. I don't know. This is kind of cool. It's kind of just what I was describing earlier. Like, YouTube knows what I like. YouTube knows what I want to watch. It keeps presenting it to me. To then package it up and tell me, yeah, this is what we know about you. It sounds cool, but I feel like it already knows. Because I have so many things open, I don't want to open YouTube. But I guarantee if I just open YouTube right now, the stuff on the screen is all stuff. All right, I'm going to do it. I'll skip this thing about a trifold Samsung phone. Although it does say astronomical price, and I want to know what that price is. Samsung reveals Galaxy Z trifold with 10-inch foldable screen, astronomical price. What's the price? I'm not getting it. I don't want it. But I do want to know what they consider to be astronomical. Korean price works out to a little shy of $2,500 phone. Wow. Or $500 higher than the Galaxy Z Fold 7. So expect something in that range if you want to get your hands on a trifold phone next year. I don't. All right. YouTube.com. Just regular YouTube. And what does it think I want to know about? It thinks I want to watch Mark Wahlberg rap in front of his teenage daughter. I don't. Did an Irish kicker just break the onside kick? No, don't want that. All right. Then we've got a Rogan thing. We've got a Tony Hinchcliffe thing. We've got a Phil Collins reacts to Peter Gabriel. We've got Shane Gillis makes 80,000 people laugh. We've got starting fires all over the country this summer. We fired our banjo player for playing this next solo. No. Kevin Cosgrove's last phone call on Earth. And yes, I did spend 4 hours or 4.5 hours last week watching real-time 9/11 footage. And that has greatly skewed what YouTube thinks of me. So it's tough for me to log on to YouTube right now without seeing the Twin Towers with smoke coming out of them. And that's happening again. I'm not going to watch that one. There's Theo Vaughn. I don't like him. There's Ice Cube. There's Matt Damon. There's Ben Johnson, the Bears coach. Something about Seth Green. Vanna White on The Price is Right from 1980. Unexpected Major League Baseball delays. Stuff I don't care about. South Park. Creed sings Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I bet that's great. Eric Stoltz talking about Back to the Future. The Trues, Canadian band, covering Grace 2 by the Tragically Hip. They know what I want. Siskel and Ebert review Star Wars in 1977. Stories about Norm Macdonald. Ice Cube at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame acceptance speech. I don't watch a lot of Ice Cube stuff. I don't know why Ice Cube's so popular on my screen today. The video for Fire Maple Song by Everclear. Like, I love that song. How did you know that? I've never looked that up. How did you know that I like that one? And then there's hockey, and then it's all the same stuff I would watch. Highwayman, done by Mark Lanigan, Ben Gibbard, Isaac Brock, and Duff McKagan? What? I'm interested in that. Middle-aged dad jam band. Interested in that. They know what they're doing. Sturgill Simpson. Saddam Hussein's live reaction to his death sentence. I don't need to see that. Ty Domi talking about fighting a fan in the penalty box in Philadelphia. David Byrne, Tiny Desk concert. Somebody sent me this the other day. I haven't watched it yet, but I will. You're right. Rick Beato videos, of course. Louis C.K., Breakfast Club, 40-year reunion. All right, I'm closing this, but how do you stop? Everything there is for me. Everything there is something that I really want to see. How do they know? How do they do it? 30 best rock albums of 2025. Not going to bother with that. Not going to get through it. And honestly, I probably don't know any of them. 20 best songs of 2025. I'm going to leave that open because I want to read it, but not right now. 100 best albums of 2025. No, leave that one open. Rapper Poor Stacy died by suicide. Family not buying it. TMZ has learned, so it's true. But some of his family members feel like it was something more nefarious. All right, so multiple sources with knowledge of the investigation tell us Poor Stacy shot himself Saturday morning in a Boca Raton hotel room, but initially survived. He was transported to a local hospital where he died Monday after being taken off life support. Police have yet to officially release the cause of death, but we're told the rapper's family isn't buying that it was suicide. One source connected to his family tells TMZ the family is disputing it. It was a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and they suspect foul play. I don't know who this rapper is. 27 years old is all I got, and the name is Poor Stacy, all one word. It's 11:37. All right, I'm going to try to bang through these last few. Well, there's a bunch of stuff still open. Oh, Tarantino unleashing on Paul Dano. There's a weird quote from Tarantino. He was on the Bret Easton Ellis podcast to talk about his top 10 movies of the century. He had There Will Be Blood on the list. He also had Unstoppable, which is, I don't know how I didn't know about it, but it's a train in Pennsylvania, and Denzel's there. And Chris Pine, I want to say one of those Chris's. I think it's Chris Pine. And it's awesome. And he's got that in his top 10. But for whatever reason, he decided to go off on Paul Dano. He picked There Will Be Blood as his fifth favorite film from 2000 on. By the way, yeah, movies of the century. I'm like, the century just started. What are we doing? It's 25 years? I remember when 25 sounded like a lot of years. Now it's like, that just happened. It was just Y2K. And now we're doing lists for movies from the first 25 years of the century. Quarter century. Dano starred opposite Daniel Day-Lewis, who won an Oscar for his performance. Tarantino, 62, said the two were not on equal footing. Quote, it's obviously it's supposed to be a two-hander, and it's also so drastically obvious that it's not a two-hander. He is weak sauce, man. He's a weak sister. USA Today has reached out to Paul Dano's reps for comment. Didn't happen. Tarantino later called the Little Miss Sunshine actor uninteresting and saying Austin Butler would have been better for the role. Ellis tried to push back on the criticism, noting the weight of Day-Lewis's role, but the filmmaker wasn't convinced. He said, so you put him with the weakest male actor in SAG? I'm not saying he's giving a terrible performance. I'm saying he's giving a non-entity performance. Asked if he liked Dano in any other roles, said he couldn't think of any, and listed other actors that he also isn't a fan of. Said, I don't care for him, I don't care for Owen Wilson, and I don't care for Matthew Lillard. All right. I read somewhere that people are like, why is Tarantino just going off here? And somebody, I think this was on Reddit, somebody said, it seems like maybe Tarantino used to do the exact right amount of cocaine, and now he's doing too much cocaine. And that seemed plausible. It seemed like it might fit. The announcement of the lineup for Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest 2026. The list is out. It's the most apostrophes that I've seen in one headline, maybe ever. Because it goes one apostrophe, Dick Clark, apostrophe S, New Year, apostrophe S, Rockin', apostrophe, Eve, with Ryan Seacrest 2026. One apostrophe, or it's quotes. It's quotes within quotes. Weird. Chappell Roan, Post Malone, the K-pop Demon Hunter singers, Mariah Carey, and more are set to perform live. Good for Dick Clark that his name still gets mentioned on this thing, but calling it Dick Clark's party when he's dead seems, I don't know, not great. Rob Gronkowski returns along with Julianne Hough from Dancing with the Stars. It marks a major milestone as the longest telecast in the show's history, including an additional 90 minutes of programming and featuring the soundtrack of the year. Performers include, holy crap, 4 Non-Blondes. Wonder what song they'll do. What's up with that? 50 Cent, AJR, Big X the Plug, I don't know what that is. Chance the Rapper, Charlie Puth, Chappell Roan, Sierra, Demi Lovato, DJ Cassidy's Pass the Mic Live, starring Busta Rhymes, T.I., and Wyclef. Say it again. DJ Cassidy's Pass the Mic Live, starring Busta Rhymes, T.I., and Wyclef Jean. Fillmore, Goo Goo Dolls, Jess Glynn, Jesse Murph, Jordan Davis, K-Pop Demon Hunters, Leon Thomas, Lil Jon, Little Big Town, little everybody. Madison Beer, Maren Morris, sponsored by Carnival Cruise Line. That's awesome. Mariah Carey, New Kids on the Block, One Republic, Pitbull, Post Malone, Rick Springfield, Russell Dickerson, the All-American Rejects, Tucker Wetmore, Zara Larson. I've heard of half of those. It's pretty good. The older half. Anyone there who could be considered elderly or is receiving mail from AARP like I am. Those are the people that showed up in that list. All right, I've got too many things open and not enough time to do it. I got to wrap this up because I got to get out of here. So thank you for listening, watching, sharing, calling. Jeremy White called. That was cool. And I'll be back with you tomorrow for actually, it's going to be kind of the same thing because I've got to run right at noon again tomorrow. So you got most of a show. 10 to 11:42. And I probably won't be able to shut up for another minute or two. So like 11:44. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. You're not paying for it. Get over it, man. All right. I'm going to stop, and I will return tomorrow at 10 o'clock with an all-new episode. It'll be episode 219 of Riter Radio. Oh, shout-outs and RIP to well-liked, well-regarded radio newsman Mark Leitner, who passed away after a lengthy illness. I worked with him at WBEN way back in the day. So, thoughts are with his family. Good guy. I didn't know him super well, but he was a veteran when I was a rookie, and he was just very, very well thought of, very highly regarded. And he passed away within the last couple of days. So, just wanted to mention that. And that's it. That's it for today. I'll be back with you tomorrow at 10 with episode 219 of Riter Radio. Thank you for being a part of it. Again, you got to turn the thing up, and then you can play the thing.
What are you doing for lunch?
There's the thing.
I don't know. I have a turkey sandwich.
We're gonna go around the corner. I think you should come with us. This is a great place.
Okay.
We brought you a shirt.
Will you get out of here? Will you get out of here? Will you? Now, will you go to lunch? Go to lunch. Will you go to lunch?